everyone, welcome to August in the garden. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I'm coming to you guys from Zone 6, Connecticut, and this is my backyard cottage garden. So let's just get started, shall we? Right here in this bed, which I like to call my fairy garden, even though the fairy garden technically doesn't start until after those boulders, I have a bunch of echinacea in here, and I have a lot of ageratum that has self-seeded. I started these from seed a few years ago, and I probably started them for like 3 years from seed, and then I realized I don't really need to do that because they are prolific self-seeders, and they will come back on their own. So this is one of my favorite annuals, and I love that it self-seeds. And then I also have a bunch of one of my absolute favorite plants, these jigsaw peppers, which are just, I think, the most beautiful thing. The marbling on the leaves, the mixture of the purple and the white and the green is just absolutely stunning. And they are edible. They're a spicy pepper. And I like to mix them into the landscape because they are just so beautiful. And then I have some alyssum on the edges of the beds as well. Those are started from seed also. And as we swoop around here, on this side of the entryway, I have some beautiful Sirius Blue Salvia that I started from seed last year, and then I was able to save the seeds and start some more this year. Look at this guy, just resting. It's a foggy, kind of cool day today, and a lot of the bees are just chilling. They're just like resting on the branches. So that's fine. Take a little break. I also have some forget-me-nots in here. And I have, these are all Black Prince snapdragons. They have a red bloom. Here, I'll show you one. They're probably going to bloom again. I cut them back, but here's some. There's a bunch in front that are in bloom right now, but a lot of these were blooming for last month's tour, and not so much right now. And if you missed my video about making this little mushroom table and stools, check that out, because that was a super easy, cheap, fun project to do. I have some more ageratum. You'll see this pretty much everywhere in the garden. I love it. And the dark foliage is purple basil. Now this one doesn't look so good. These are just purely for my purposes anyway. They're just for decoration, and they're also to try to keep the critters away from the edibles. They don't really like the smell of basil, so, and I love the color of this purple basil. It's just beautiful. These are all the same, but some of them did come out like this, and some of them came out like this. And in the pumpkin tunnel, things down that end are doing a lot better than over on this end. Over here we got a lot of powdery mildew, a lot of struggles, but we do finally have a pumpkin here. There's one. And then you can see I do have a bunch down the other end. So I've got, you guys know me, I'm not sure exactly what I have, but I know I have birdhouse gourds. I've got these white pumpkins, which I think are called Moonlight or Moonshine. I'll see if I can look it up. And then these little guys, which I cannot remember the name of, and I'm pretty sure that these more oblong ones, like this, I think these ones are the gumdrop. Pretty sure. And back over here, I do still have some corn, and I think it's ready to be picked. These I just grew as ornamentals. They're called Purple Diamond or Purple Jewel. Purple Jewel. And I think they're beautiful. I didn't get that many because I had a problem with the squirrels taking a bunch, but the ones that I did get are stunning. I love the dark stalk, and then the corn itself is supposed to be purple, so I'm gonna pick that. Maybe I'll show you guys in a video. This raised bed is pretty out of control. You can kind of not even see the bed anymore, but this is all, well, mostly peppers and pumpkins. A bunch of stuff did self-seed though, like these guys. This smaller vine that looks like a pumpkin vine, but it's really tiny. Those are cucamelons that self-seeded from previous years. But this is I'll back up a little and give you a better shot here. Yeah, there we go. So the raised bed is in there. It's there. And it's a high one too. It's just completely covered in foliage, vegetation right now. This ruby hyacinth bean vine, this one right here is not looking great. It's starting to yellow. You can see. It's a very vigorous grower once it gets going. I have another one there on the arch. You can see it's, again, very vigorous. And it's beautiful. I just don't know when it's going to bloom. Hasn't bloomed at all yet. Just keeps putting out crazy amounts of vines. But that's okay. This one here I kind of like. I made it go over to the trellis. I don't know why. Just for fun. This is a butterfly bush. This one is the Pugster Amethyst. I need to deadhead a little bit, but the butterflies are definitely enjoying this. And if you've been with the channel a little while, you know I had the most beautiful bachelor's buttons here for quite a while, for months and months, but I did have to pull them out. They were really not looking good anymore. But it's okay because this ageratum is self-seeded and it's really filling in behind. So that's all good. And then I've got these pumpkins coming out of the raised bed that I'm just gonna let trail into here. And these tall purple guys are verbena, annual verbena. Actually, it's supposed to be, the tag said perennial. It's the lollipop. It says perennial, but I heard that they're not actually, and that they just self-seed a lot. This is my first year with them, but most of these are actually from seed. I bought the plant at the end of the season last year, and then I saved seed from it and grew a bunch more at the beginning of the season. So I have a lot of this verbena in the front yard. And then I have more of the jigsaw peppers because I love them. And back on the opposite side in the witch's garden, I just made a video about replacing my old cauldron, which is there in the background, with this new one that I am absolutely in love with. It's from At Home. If you guys don't have an At Home store near you, get online because they have the best stuff. I get a lot of my like spooky gnomes. I get a lot of fairies from there. If you're into goth gardening or whimsical stuff, they have the best stuff. I love At Home, along with other places as well. Anyway, so this has Artemisia in it and Creeping Jenny, and that's it right now. At the base there is some Celosia, but it is a little bit ragged, a little bit end of its season. You see there's a few missing. But I did have a couple that self-seeded. There's one in the back there. So I think I'm going to try to save seed from those this year so I don't have to buy it next year. And I also told you guys about my Eclipse hydrangea that I picked up finally. This has been on my wish list all year. I'm obsessed. It's beautiful. It doesn't have any flowers right now, but I don't care. I just love the foliage. It's gorgeous. I did have some people concerned that it's too big for this spot. I'm not concerned with that. I thought of that in advance because I'm trying to make this fairy garden like a little bit more hidden. So if this grows nice and big for me, that's fine. Even if, you know, it pushes out this way, because this little piece of lattice I plan on taking down and replacing with something way cooler next year. So I can always just widen this part of the path to accommodate for the growth of this Eclipse hydrangea. So anyway, lots of creeping phlox in the fairy garden. That is looking so lush and I love it. In the background there is a hardy geranium. I love the way that it spills over. And then in my little mushroom, I have all sorts of things. I have dichondra coming out of the front there. There's some alyssum. I actually planted a little Jaggedy little pumpkin in the top. I don't know if it'll take. It just sprouted. I just planted a bunch of Jaggedy little seeds just because I wanted more pumpkins, you guys. And they're like the fastest ones. Sorry, here we go. And then this guy, or girl, this gal here is a Ruby Slippers oak leaf hydrangea. And she's stunning. She's beautiful. And this is about as big as she'll get. I know that some of them get a lot bigger, but this one is supposed to top out around 5 to 6 feet. As we come back here through, oh, actually, let me show you this. This is a black-eyed Susan vine. I've got a couple things on this, so they're kind of all mixed, but I have this one here that's more sturdy. That's a climbing hydrangea. And then this is the black-eyed Susan vine. And she's beautiful. These are great. They're very vigorous and they bloom a lot. And they come in all sorts of colors, so it's a great annual vine, I think. Very pretty. Maybe I'll try to save seed from it. This is a 9-bark that I picked up at the end of last season. And it has filled in beautifully. Getting nice and big. I want it to get really big. And then in the moon garden, things are looking okay. I did transplant a couple things, so not everything is looking great. Actually, this moon vine isn't looking great. I think the yellowing is because we've had so much rain lately. But this has started to bloom. The blooms are beautiful. I'll see if I can get a shot and insert it, but I'm not sure. They bloom like at night, and then in the morning they start to close up again. So I have a couple of white hydrangeas in here. On the moon gate, I have a cup and saucer vine. That's what the majority of the green is. It's beautiful. Again, it hasn't bloomed yet, but I love this vine. I think it's so pretty, even without the blooms. It has like red stems. The foliage is really pretty. And this is all one plant. That cost me like $3, by the way. I got this at that Select Seeds end of season sale. If you guys remember that video, that was fun. But look, wee. And then I did plant a grapevine at the bottom on this side as well. Only because this piece of cattle panel that I used is reused, and it's kind of not a perfect circle. So I thought, you know what? If I put this grapevine on, it'll form like a woody base, and I'll just make the circle out of that eventually, you know, someday. Someday that will happen. I have been working over here a little bit to try to get this area fixed up better. So I just transplanted a bunch of pulmonaria. This one here, 1, 2, 3. And then I put 2 at the bottom of the moon gate. Those were all from one plant. It was enormous. But I love pulmonaria. So I'm so happy that I have 5 now instead of 1. I have others, but you know, you get it. Anyway, these echinaceas will be getting moved. This was a mistake, obviously. I thought they were all white, but they're not. So the purple ones are gotta go. They'll be moved at the end of the season. And then over in this area isn't that much to look at. Lots of hydrangeas, lots of hostas that I'm not a fan. If you know, you know, I'm not a fan of hostas. Another hydrangea. I do have huge plans for this area, you guys. I know I keep saying it. It's just a budget issue. Eventually we will get there. I'm thinking it's going to be like the big project of the winter time, you know. Last year I worked on the greenhouse. It took me pretty much all winter. I'm thinking that this project, which is the shed and this whole area here, is probably going to take the whole winter. So, but I'm really excited about it. Anyway, we've got some dark heucheras in here that I absolutely love. Another, what was that? Did you see that? Maybe it was a leaf. Another pulmonaria. See, something's in there. It must be a toad. Oh, it is. Let's see. He's so cute. There's toads everywhere. They're so adorable. Let's see if I can get him. There he is. I don't know if you guys can see him there. He's right there. Hey, buddy. Cutie pie. There's a bunch of them that are black toads. They're so cute. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the fire pit that I was using as a cauldron. It's kind of all like rusted out in the bottom. Oh, it's got liner in it right now, but I mean, you can see there's a hole right there. I don't know. I'd like to keep it because I love the stars and moons on the side. So I gotta think of a project. Over here in the purple shed, a couple hydrangeas, a couple sedums, and then these are my tomatoes, and they are producing. see if I can find one that's like, this one's kind of, I have Cherokee purple in here. I've got like a black plum, something like that. I'm not really sure. Whatever, they all taste good. This is an Annabelle hydrangea. This area back here is a complete disaster. Don't even get me started. I don't know what's with the honking. And over here by the pool, I have a Virginia creeper and a clematis both going up here. And the Virginia creeper is kind of getting out of control already. And it's only been in the ground for a few months. It must like this spot. Sometimes they can be slow to start. But I like Virginia creeper, so don't come at me. I know some people hate it. I like it. This area I plan on working on quite a bit next season. Right now it's kind of a hodgepodge of things. There's a pumpkin in here. There's a bunch of ageratum, all self-seeded. There's some cleome back here that's getting really tall. And that is a weigela there. And then I just have this hydrangea. This beautiful Leyland cypress that I put in last year. It's grown quite a bit. Doing pretty well. I know it's going to get huge, but we have plans for this area. Another hydrangea next to it and another pulmonaria. This one is looking really good. I love pulmonaria because it's beautiful. The foliage is beautiful. I think it makes a great replacement for hosta. But it also has the cutest little flowers in the springtime. These ones that I have, they have like a pink and purple and blue flower, like all three mixed together. It's so cute. This is a weigela. And then I have a couple of rhododendrons that I kind of rehabbed, and they are looking so much better now. They were in the front, and you really just can't with kind of hydrangeas too, but the deer, they love rhododendrons. They love arborvitae. They love hydrangea. I realized this year they also like 9-bark, so some stuff has to kind of stay in the back. They don't really come back here because it's so crowded. Deer don't really like obstacles. So even though our fence is only 3 feet tall here, they don't come back here. This is the most wide open spot that is in the backyard. So deer are not bothering any of this stuff pretty much back here. So that's lovely. However, we do have groundhogs, obviously. If you've been with the channel, you know that. The other day, she was right over here. I'll insert a clip. But, and she just was not even listening. I was like, okay, you can move on now. Go back to the front yard, whatever. And she just like stares at me. I'm like, are you serious? Do I have to pick you up? So anyway, that's pretty much it for the front yard. Front yard, backyard, whatever. That's pretty much it for the backyard. I'll do a front yard tour shortly. And yes, I have started decorating for Halloween. I know you see that Oogie Boogie in the background. It's past August 15th, you guys. And that, for me, that's when it's on. Halloween decorating is on. I've got a giant pumpkin to put out. I have some other things. I put this little spooky tree out, but I don't know if, I don't know if that's the right spot. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope that you will subscribe if you're new. We'd love to have you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.